大家好，我是菲菲老师。Welcome back to Mifi Chinese. Today we start lesson 2. The title of this lesson is 还是打车去北大吧。还是打车去北大吧。Before we dive in, my ultimate HSK Companion Workbook is available in the description below. Get your copy today to help you follow along this course. Okay, let's go. First of all, let's see the objectives. Talk about basic information about a school, and then you will be able to use 多 to express approximate quantities, and then finally you will learn the fixed pattern 还是 something 吧. Okay, let's see. First of all, let's read through the text. One, you can read after me. 请问这儿有到北京大学的公交车吗？有，但车站有点远。这儿好打车吗？好打车，谢谢，安妮，我们还是打车去吧。好，没问题。Okay, as usual, I have two questions for you. Number one, 白嘉悦和安妮想去哪儿 ？A. 饭店 B. 车站 C. 北京大学 Second one, 白嘉悦和安妮怎么去那儿 ？A. 开车 B. 坐出租车 C. 坐公交车 Okay, let's listen to the text again and you can make your choices. 请问这儿有到北京大学的公交车吗？有，但车站有点远。这儿好打车吗？好打车，谢谢，安妮，我们还是打车去吧。好，没问题。Okay, let's see. First one. 白嘉悦和安妮想去哪儿？去哪儿 ？Where do they want to go? So let's see. 这儿有到北京大学 right? They want to go to 北京大学 So we choose C. 白嘉悦和安妮怎么去那儿？怎么 ？How? Right? How do they go? 怎么去那儿 ？Let's see. 这儿好打车嘛，打车 This is a new vocabulary we will learn today. 打车 It means take a taxi. So this one we choose B, right? B. 坐出租车 This is not the original word 打车 Here is 打车 but in the option is 坐出租车 So these two actually the meaning is the same. Take a taxi. Right, so we choose C and B. Did you get it right? All right, let's come back to the text for a moment. Let's see the word here in orange. 这儿好打车嘛，好打车。We learned 好 before, right? It means the literal meaning good, right? Good. But here in the context, it doesn't really mean good. It doesn't mean here is good to take a taxi. Actually, we can understand it like that, but more it implies is here easy to take a taxi? Is here convenient to take a taxi? Right? So you can also understand it is here good to take a taxi, right? So whenever you use 好 and then do something, most probably you're asking, is it easy? Is it convenient to do this right here? Right? Okay, let's see the vocabulary. You can read after me. 公交车，公交车，蛋，蛋，车站，车站，远，远，打车，打车，还是，还是。And then we have a proper noun, 北京大学，北京大学。So in the title of the lesson, it was 北大, right? 北大. So it's actually a short version of 北京大学。Okay, let's explain them in detail. First one, 公交车，公交车, it means the bus, the bus. 车, it means, so if stand alone, 车, it means car, right? Car. Actually, 公交 is a short version of 公共交通. It means public transportation. 公共交通, public transportation. And then 车. So the car, the vehicle for public transportation. So we make it short and then it becomes 公交车, bus. Okay, for example, you can say 坐公交车, take a bus. And then 等公交车, 等 to wait for, 等公交车, wait for the bus. For example, 他每天坐公交车上班。他每天 every day he take a bus to go to work. Right? Okay. 我在这儿等公交车，已经等了20分钟了。It's quite a long sentence. How do we translate this one? 我在这儿等 I'm here waiting for the bus. I have 已经 right? We learned it from lesson 1. 已经等了20分钟了。Okay, 已经等了20分钟。I have waited for 20 minutes. Okay. 但 this is a very frequently used word in Chinese. It means but. For example, 今天下雨了，但不太冷。Today it rained, but it's not too cold. But 但我会说中文，但我的中文不太好。I can speak Chinese, but my Chinese is not very good. Right? You can say 但 You can also say 但是 These two are the same. You can say 但 and 但是 right? 但 the same. So for example, 今天下雨了，但是不太冷。Right? The same. 我会说中文，但是我的中文不太好。So these two are interchangeable. Okay, 但 And then next one, 车站 it means station. So if you say 公交车站 then it's bus station. If you say, for example, 火车站 right? 火车站 is what? Train station, right? Train station. So if you only say 车站, it's a more general concept. It could mean any kind of station, but if you add 公交车站, 火车站, you're being more specific. Okay, for example, 到北京大学的车站有点远。远 we will learn very soon. It means far. So it's a bit far to get to the station of 北京大学。我走路到车站坐公交车。我走路 I walk to get to the station to take the bus. Right? 车站 Okay. Next one, 远 Okay, we just saw it earlier, right? 远 it means far. Far. For example, 很远 very far. 不远 not far. 有点远 a little bit far. Okay. 学校离我家很远. So here, 离 you can use this to mean distance, right? Distance. So 学校离我家很远. The distance between my home to the school is very far. And then you can say, or you can say 我家离学校很远. Then you mean that my home, right? Now the subject becomes my home. My home is very far from the school, right? So whichever you put as the subject, you mean that place is very far from the object place, right? Okay, next one. 车站不远，走5分钟就到。车站不远 It's not very far. The station is not very far. You walk 5 minutes, you will get there. Right? Okay, 远. So we will learn in the future, but just for your information, you can remember this as a pair. So how do we say close? It's 近. 近. So 远 and 近. And these two, the Hanzi is also a bit similar, right? They share the same radical. So same logic, the radical is the same, and then the part inside this radical tells you, gives you a hint about the pronunciation. So here, 远, this part inside the radical, the pronunciation is 远, second tone. So it gives you a hint about how this whole Hanzi pronounce. And then 近, the Hanzi inside the radical, the part inside here, the pronunciation is 京. It means, it's actually the unit that we learned before, right? It means it equals 500 grams. It's a unique, like a unit in Chinese. So this gives you a hint about how to read this whole character. 近, close. Okay, next one, 打车. It means to take a taxi, right? To take a taxi. For example, 车站太远了. The station is too far. 我们打车去吧. Let's take a taxi. Right, take a taxi. 我们一起打车去学校. Let's go to the school by taking a taxi. Right? So even if here 车, it's kind of like a when you see 车, you know that it's a general name for cars, for vehicles. But if you say 打车, then specifically you mean to take a taxi, right? Not just a random car. You always take a taxi when you say 打车. Okay, next word. Next, let's see the language point. So here we're learning the fixed pattern 还是 something 吧还是 something 吧. The fixed pattern is used to express a preferential choice with the connotation that this way is better. Right, let's see how we should understand this. So, for example, in this sentence, 我们还是打车去吧. So let's see it without 还是. 我们打车去吧. So we know that the 吧 here, at the end of the sentence, it means that a softer tone to make a suggestion, right? So 我们打车去吧. But if you add 还是, it implies that comparing to other methods, comparing to walking or taking bus, it's better that we take a taxi, right? This way is better. What way? Let's take a taxi. Right? Okay, for example, 那件衣服很好看，还是买那件吧. Right? That cloth is very good looking. It's better that we buy that one. Okay, there is actually no like 100% equivalent word in English that I can think of to translate 还是. So it just means that this way the phrase or the sentence after 还是 is the better choice, right? So we can translate 还是 into maybe might be better to, right? Might be better to do something. Right? Maybe might be better to. Okay, for example, 你第一次去北京，还是找个人接你吧? It's the first time that you go to Beijing. Might be better to find someone to pick you up, right? It's better to find someone to pick you up, right? 还是. So you can use 还是 or you can use 还是 with 吧. 吧 here is actually optional. For example, you can say 还是别去了，还是别去了. Don't go, right? You're suggesting it's better that you don't go. 还是别去了. Here, you can say 还是别去了吧. Right? These two are the same. Like you can use with 吧 or without 吧. So 吧 is optional. If you use 吧, then you are using actually a softer tone, right? To make a suggestion. Okay, 还是. And then let's see the text 2 of lesson 2. Let's read it together. You can read after me. 学校里人真多呀。是啊，北京大学有4万多名学生呢。你是怎么知道的？是网上说的。网上还说北京大学有3000多名外国学生。我也想来这儿学习。那边就有一间教室，我们去看一下吧。Okay, let's see. First question. 北京大学有多少学生 ？A. 3000多 B. 4万多 C. 10万多 Okay, next one. 白嘉悦想在北京大学做什么 ？A. 玩 B. 学习 C. 找教室 Okay, let's see. 学校里人真多啊。是啊，北京大学有4万多名学生呢。你是怎么知道的？是网上说的。网上还说北京大学有3000多名外国学生。我也想来这儿学习。那边就有一间教室，我们去看一下吧。Okay, let's see. 北京大学有多少？How many? 学生 students, right? How many? So let's find the exact original sentence. 北京大学有4万多名学生，4万多exact same sentence here, so we choose B 4万多And then 白嘉悦想在北京大学做什么 She wants to what she wants to do in 北京大学 right? So she says 我也想来这儿学习 right? So she wants to come here to 学习 right? So we choose B. Even if 教室 like we are seeing 教室 this word in here in the original sentence and then we have the option C but this is not what she wants to do right? They're just looking for the 教室 right now but they didn't say that they want to do this in here right? So we still choose B so B and B okay let's see the vocabulary 万名网上外国间教室Okay, let's see. First one, the definition is quite long. It says, used at the end of a sentence to express appreciation, agreement, etc. Okay, so actually the definition here is a little too complicated. Actually, if you use a at the end of the sentence, you are expressing your emotion. It doesn't have to be limited to only appreciation or agreement. It can just express any emotion actually, even if it's positive, it's negative. If you use a, which kind of emotion you expressed depends on the context, also your tones. Right? For example, you say 今天真冷. If you only say 今天真冷, right? It's kind of like a statement sentence. Today is very cold. But if you add a, you're saying today is really, really cold. You're really feeling today is cold, right? So you can add a. And then 这件衣服真漂亮. If you don't have a, again, statement sentence, you could even use a period here. But if you have a and it becomes a exclamation sentence. And then, and normally when you say it at the end of the sentence, it's always neutral tone, right? So here we don't have a tone mark here. Okay, next, one. We have actually seen this in HSK 1 when we were talking about numbers, right? So this is 10,000, number units in Chinese. You can also see this in Japanese and Korean, but not in English or European languages. So 10,000, 10,000. 我们学校有10000人. We have 10,000 people in our school. 你们学校有几万人, right? So how many? So here, how many 10,000 people there are in your company? So it's a little difficult to translate this way. But when you see one, you understand that it actually means 10,000. Okay. When you get used to it, when you get used to saying one in Chinese, it feels less unnatural, because I can understand that if this unit doesn't exist in English or in your language, you will have to do a little bit math in your head to convert how many is 1,000. Right? Okay. Next one, 名. So first one, used for people. So when you say 一名 someone, you can say 一名学生, 一名老师. It's actually a kind of formal and written measure word for people. Right? So here it doesn't say very clearly, but you can use it as a measure word for people. 一名老师, and it sounds more formal. Right? And then place in a competition. What does it mean? So, for example, if you get first place in a competition, if you comes first, you are 第一名. If you're second place, you are 第二名, right? So you are just doing that, follow this sequence. And then third place, of course, 第三名, just like that, right? Okay, and then last one, name. right? Name. So this one we already know because we have the word 名字, right? Very early in the previous book, we learned 你叫什么名字, right? 你叫什么名字? So name. For example, 她现在还是一名学生. She is still a student now. 还是 still. 那本书的书名是什么? What is the name of that book? 书名. So if you say, for example, 人名, then people's name, right? A human person. And then if you say 书名, a book's name. If you say like 电影名, what's the name of that movie, right? So you can just add 名 after something or someone, or like a people or human to mean the name of that thing or that human, right? Okay, 名. Next one, 网上. It means online. 我在网上学习. I study online. 妈妈喜欢在网上买东西. Mom likes to buy things online, right? So when you see 网上, just directly translate it into online. Here, we have another word, 上网. Let's see, 上网. So it's actually exactly the opposite, like you change the position of these two 汉字. 上网, it means go online. So now, if you change the order of these two 汉字, 上网 becomes the verb, right? The verb. 网上, the noun, online, and then 上网, go online, the verb, right? Because here, 上 is the verb, right? We put the 上 at the first, so it's the verb. 上网. Okay. 外国, 国 we know, right? 国, country, right? For example, 中国 means that China, and then in the ancient times, China, like Chinese people thinks that China is placed in the center of the world. So 中国, the country in the center. So 国, country. And then 外, here, 外, it means foreign. So 外国, foreign country. For example, 外国人, then 外国人 is just foreigners. Foreigner, yes, foreigner. 外国人, 外国学生, foreign students. 白嘉悦是外国人. 白嘉悦 is a foreigner. 学校里有很多外国学生. There are a lot of foreign students in the school, right? So you can put here 外国, it's a noun, but you can also put it in front of something or someone to mean that this is foreign, right? Okay. Also, 外国语, right? 外国语. Do you know what is 外国语? 语, language, right? So 外国语, foreign language. Okay. And then next one, 间, used of smallest units of housing. Again, definition is a little abstract. It just means the measure word for rooms. For example, 一间, you can say 房间, right? 房间, a room. 一间, you can say 一间卧室. 卧室 means bedroom. So 一间卧室, a bedroom. For example, 这间房间很小. This room is very small. 这间教室里有3个人. There are 3 people in, right? 里 in this classroom, right? 教室 is also a room, so we can say 这间教室, this classroom, right? Okay, very good. Next one, 教室. We mentioned it earlier right here, right? 教室, classroom. 教室里, inside the classroom. 一间教室, a classroom. 他在教室里看书. He is reading in the classroom. 请问第2间教室在哪儿? Excuse me, where is the second, 第2, right? 第2 second classroom. 间 and 教室. Okay, let's see the language point of the second text. It's called expressing approximate numbers with 多 多. We learned 多 before, right? It means many. So first, if it's just 多, it means many, right? Then if it's 多少, then how many, right? How many? So here, we're actually seeing another usage, another meaning of 多. Let's see the definition first. Adding 多 after a number indicates that the quantity is slightly greater than the stated number. When the number is a multiple of 10, 多 is usually placed directly after the numeral. When the number is not a multiple of 10, 多 is generally placed after the measure word. Okay, let's see the first sentence here. So it means that the quantity is slightly greater than the stated number. So here we're saying a approximate number. For example, the first example, 北京大学有4万多名学生. So if we delete 多, 北京大学有4万名学生, then you are saying that 北京大学 has 40,000 students. Right? So you're saying an exact number. But we know that in such a big number, we're not so sure about how exactly it is. So we can add 多 here to mean that the quantity is slightly greater than 4万多, so probably 41,000, 42,000, right? Okay, so 4万多名. And then when the number is a multiple of 10, 多 is usually placed directly after the numeral. For example, 4万 is a multiple of 10, right? So the 多 is placed right after the numeral. So 4万多, and then we follow it with the measure word 名. But if the number is not a multiple of 10, for example, this one, 这2个苹果5块多钱. So here, 多 is generally placed after the measure word. So we say 这个苹果5, and then you plus the measure word, and then you say the 多, right? And then let's see the second example. 教室里有20多个学生. So this applies the first sentence right here, right? 20 is a multiple of 10. So we put 多 directly after the numeral, and then we add the measure word, right? So these are the two differences. Let me explain a little why this rule applies here. Because if you're saying, for example, 4万 or 20, then most probably this is a estimated number, right? Because, for example, 4万, then you're not so sure. You add 多 directly. But if it's, for example, 5, or we say 19, or we say 27, then you are pretty sure about the number already, right? Because 27, 19, they are all very detailed, specific numbers. So if you place 多 after the measure word, you're actually putting the estimation after the decimal point. For example, 这2个苹果5块多钱. So you're sure about 5块, but you're not so sure about, for example, it could be 5, let's say 530, 520. You're not so sure. So that's why you put the estimation after 块, and then you put it onto the decimal point. Right? Okay, that's the logic behind this. You don't need to really try to memorize this rule by definition, right? You will get used to it when you're like more used to seeing or hearing this expression more in daily conversation, right? Just remember, if you see 多 after a number, it means that the person saying this is not very sure about how many the number is, and most probably the number is a little more than the number that they say, right? Okay, so very good. That is everything about part 1 of lesson 2. As you know, my mission is to make this HSK Marathon project free and accessible for everyone. So if you found value in my videos and truly want to master what you've learned today, the best way is to pick up my ultimate HSK Companion Workbook. I've designed it following 4 scientifically efficient steps: active recall for vocabularies, formula blocks for grammar, a smart writing section to break down characters for you, and most importantly, high-quality practice questions with detailed explanations to give you instant breakthrough. grab your copy from the description below. Thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you in the next lesson.